A couple of days ago, Devon gave us some hints through his Instagram page that he wants to face Artem Morozov. He doesn't want that opportunity to be given to Kamil Jablonski. But there may be something or someone who is stopping that from happening. And in my opinion, that something is East versus West, and that someone has to be Engin Terzi. Because Engin has Devon under his contract, and as we have already discussed in the previous video, there is just no way that Engin will allow King of the Table to just let Devon arm wrestle against Morozov without even consulting him. And that's the thing that was taking so much time for Core Sports, for King of the Table to announce this Kamil Jablonski versus Artem Morozov match, or to just make it clear that Devon is not the one who's going to be facing Artem Morozov at King of the Table 12. So hello arm wrestling fans, in this video we will discuss this topic and the hypothetical Kamil Jablonski versus Devon Larratt right arm match which we promised to discuss in the previous video. So first of all, as we have discussed Devon Larratt's stories, he was saying he was tagging East versus West in those stories. But then later on he made another video. It was just yesterday and the title of that video was, I think, Don't Be a Puppet. It was directed towards Oleg Petrenko, and we know this whole story. Devon liked to call Engin Terzi the puppet master who runs the strings, who pulls the strings and tells the arm wrestlers what to do, what not to do, what to say, what not to say. Because Devon himself is a part of East versus West, he knows the game inside out. So Devon talked about this post that was made by Oleg Petrenko, and Engin Terzi shared that post on his Instagram page. I saw that Devon was looking for an injury or I can't lose weight type of excuse to not face me by challenging super heavyweight Morozov. Good that he realized that Artem is too strong for him and stepped back. But hey, if he regrets, then he can cancel our match and I can pull against someone braver. So this braver word is something that Devon Larratt took a lot of offense to. Just by reading this, I know Oleg cannot write it in English himself, so that is clear to everyone. Nobody's trying to hide that. Maybe somebody made that translation. But even after reading it as a translation, it's kind of easy to make out that it is not written by Oleg Petrenko. And Devon knows that. So in his video, he kind of insinuated the word that Devon likes to use, that this post was written by someone else. And as we all know that someone else is Engin Terzi himself. He likes to do that. He has done that already many times. Even during the live stream commentary thing, we saw that Artem Morozov was literally sitting like a robot as if he's being held at gunpoint to speak against the live stream commentaries, when in fact 100% guaranteed he doesn't even know what these live stream commentaries are. So that's not a new thing. And I've been calling out this fake beef stuff for way too long now, because in arm wrestling we are at a stage, and probably we are a unique sport that despises the real beef, the real rivalries. We don't want that because arm wrestlers say that it's just a large family, we should stay that way, we shouldn't fight, there shouldn't be any beef. But then the same people rely on a fake beef to promote every single match, and that's what seems to be the case here as well. So Devon was saying that this post was not written by you. I think I know that. And if it wasn't, then please make sure that you let me know that it wasn't made by you. Otherwise, I'm going to go hard at you. So what is Devon going to say to Oleg Petrenko? Probably he's going to talk about the war in Ukraine and how Oleg should be there fighting the army with the army and not arm wrestling. I'm just guessing. But people are going to be okay with that too because Oleg is not in the army. So I mean, yeah, you're kind of supposed to be there if all of the other civilians or many of the other civilians are also fighting, but that's something that at least us people from the other countries shouldn't be judging him on. So I think the fans, even if Devon says those kind of things, the fans are going to be 100% in support of Oleg Petrenko. The other thing is the main issue which we are talking about. I don't think there is any doubt that this post was made by Engin himself, and Engin himself did not deny that. That's why when he made a video, he said that you shouldn't be talking about puppets and puppet masters. I don't think Devon even mentioned the word puppet master in his video, but Engin mentioned it, kind of himself admitting that yes, he was the one who made that post. He said that, what about you, Devon? He literally, like not literally, but he meant to say it that way, that when Prudnik said that Jody has Devon's balls in his purse, that line was written or was told by Devon himself. That was Devon's idea to given to Prudnik to say in front of everyone. Maybe because Jody wasn't allowing Devon to go to Istanbul to compete against Prudnik in November 2022 because his son just had the shoulder surgery. Auden just had the shoulder surgery around that time on his left shoulder, not the right one. So these were the things mentioned by, but that is different. This time Oleg is himself saying that about someone else, and Devon kind of took the insult on himself. But still, Devon in these topics is kind of weird. Like he believes he can say anything that he wants about the other guys, but then he acts that he's offended when we clearly know that Denis Siplenkov calling Devon a clown, it's not going to make Devon as mad as he acted. And this time as well, that word that I can find someone, I can pull someone braver, it's not going to bother Devon at all. Like, that guy is unhinged. You cannot get into his head really unless you are Sap the Bee. So in that case, I think that Devon is just trolling once again. He's trying to act offended when he isn't, just to promote the match. And then that's about it about this situation. So now let's talk about the Kamil Jablonski hypothetical match. When I said, just a few seconds, I said that how about Kamil versus Devon Larratt right arm, and I ended the video immediately. People said, are you crazy? This is going to be a complete mismatch. How can you even think about this match? My question is it going to be a bigger mismatch than the Kamil versus Devon left arm match? No, I can guarantee you. Devon cannot beat Kamil as easy on the right arm. Although he's the favorite, I agree with that. He cannot beat him as easy as Kamil beat him on the left arm. And that should tell you something, that this match can actually happen. Maybe when King of the Table is, or even East versus West is running out of pay-per-view sales, the event is not doing great, they can sense that, then they can fill up with these kind of matches. Or maybe even Arm Wars. They organized the left arm match, so why not the right arm match as well? So then the second point, is it a bigger mismatch than Chan Shaw versus Devon? Because that match also happened. Is it a bigger mismatch than the Devon Larratt versus Kalinichenko left arm match? Because that match also happened. And please don't get mad at this example. Is it a bigger mismatch than the Denis Siplenkov versus Devon Larratt match? Can you say that Devon, or maybe even Hermes Gasparini, can you say that those guys gave a better fight to Devon than what Kamil will give if the match happens? If you're thinking that Devon is just going to flat out top roll or King's move Kamil Jablonski's flop press, although his flop is not as strong on the right as it is on the left arm, I think you're mistaken. Devon will not be able to do that. Can he force the hook and negate the flop press? I think he can do that. Gennady does not commit fully as much as Kamil does, so that's why maybe it was possible for Devon to turn him that way by grabbing him low. But that thing also worked only in one round. So if Devon can do that to Gennady, maybe, yeah, it's a fair assumption that he will be able to do that to Kamil Jablonski as well. Because Kamil's arm is not going to be as strong as Devon Larratt or Gennady Quiquini, I should say. But still, I'll say that this fact that it is going to be a better match than the left arm should be enough for someone to talk about this match and suggest this match to the promoters. And that's all I want to say. I think it's a good match. I think Devon wins it, but people are going to be entertained for sure. Thanks for watching, like the video and subscribe. And my ring light just fell off.